So because this is my magnificent obsession, it's something that I love. One of the things that I suggest to speakers, discipline yourself to read on a regular basis and to memorize a minimum of 2 to 3 quotes a day. I disciplined myself to memorize 3 to 5 quotes a day. And the reason that I did that, I don't have a college education. I was born in an abandoned building on a floor with a twin brother in a poor section of Miami, Florida called Liberty City. We were 6 weeks of age. We were adopted. When I was at Douglas Elementary School, I was labeled educable mentally retarded and put back from the 5th grade to the 4th grade and failed again when I was in the 8th grade. So not having any college training, I was thinking about, and I think all entrepreneurs need to do this, when I decided to become involved in this industry, I was thinking about what is it that can make me stand out. And I think at all entrepreneurs, you have to look at what is it that can make you stand out. People vote with their dollars. How is it that I can stand out as a speaker, that people will choose me? Competing against people with PhDs and MBAs and years of corporate experience, they would choose me to come in and motivate them to do something that I've never done. And so to establish myself as an intellectual resource, I decided that nobody was going to outstudy me, that I was going to read, I was going to learn various studies and various quotes, and I would learn how to navigate and create an experience with an audience. What I noticed that most speakers who came out to speak, they would inundate people with information. And I realized if information could change people, everybody would be skinny, rich, and happy. So it wasn't information. That in order to become successful and to create a national and international brand, you have to create an experience in order to change people's behavior. You have to create a significant emotional event. Oliver Wendell Holmes said that once a man or woman's mind has been expanded with an idea, concept, or experience, it could never be satisfied to going back to where it was. And so the goal that I had as a speaker is to navigate an experience that people, as a result of hearing it, when I train speakers, I train them so that when people hear you speak, they will leave your presence feeling better about themselves, but talking about you because of how you've used your speech strategically to give them a vision of themselves in the future, doing more, having more, achieving more, and living a greater life.
Magic. Okay.
So from all of your years of speaking, what is the most important lesson you have learned?
The most important lesson I have learned as a speaker, and I found out through the coaching that I received from my mentor, Mike Williams, and I encourage everybody to get his book. And the title of his book is called The Road to Your Best Stuff. The Road to Your Best Stuff. It's someone you should have on as a guest. And Mike Williams, were it not for him, you would not know this, Les Brown. There's a place a coach or a trainer can take you within yourself that you can never go by yourself, that will allow you to discover a part of yourself that you're not expressing right now. And so what Mike Williams did as my strategist and as my marketer and as my mentor and coach, he helped me to develop this Les Brown. His process is the same that I use. First you develop the messenger, then the message, and then the marketing. And so he helped me first to develop myself. We've got to be the message that we bring. And what I realized that you can't see the picture when you're in the frame. If you're serious about doing anything, you want to find out who's the best in that industry. And you want to get coaching from that person. Who's on the level where you would like to be, doing and achieving what you would like to achieve, and hire them as your strategist, hire them as your coach, so that it would give you the ability to see the future through mature eyes and through the wisdom of that person that's coaching you, who's been there, done that, and bought the T-shirt. Many people out here who say, well, they are coaching people to develop their brand, and they're not known themselves. I think you don't teach what you don't know, and you don't lead where you don't go. And so it's very important to find someone who's doing what it is you want to do. And if you want to be the best, you want to be trained by the best. When I was in Columbus, Ohio, he was the best that I saw. I loved his content, his confidence, of how he delivered a message, and he was so strategic, and he was a deep thinker. I said, that's who I want to teach me how to become an effective speaker. And I suggest that people do the same thing. If you're looking at something like speaking or coaching or being a presenter or getting involved in the self-development industry, make sure you get trained by somebody who's known globally for doing it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow. You know what, Les? Thank you so much for being on You Are Creators, really. Thank you so much.
Well, we sure learned a lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We have a lot to walk away with, and I'm sure all the listeners do as well. We really sincerely appreciate you being here with us. And can you tell us if there's anything that you're working on, any projects you have going on right now or coming up?
Well, one of the things that I've got a training that I have that we do called I've Got to Speak. It is for people who've got to speak, people who have a story, people who have a passion and want to make a difference in people's lives, and also who want to learn how to earn money doing this, because the market is wide open. When I first started out, there was no such thing as people who look like me doing motivational speaking. And so my goal was, I just finished speaking in Bangalore, India, and New Delhi, in South Africa, Sweden, Poland, London, England, and all of these places where I'm going, we're breaking new territory. That before, the only African Americans they saw were athletes or rappers, but now they're getting a chance to see someone bringing a message that looks like us, who is not a dancer or singer, but bringing a message of how you can become successful in life. And so we're opening up new doors and new opportunities for people to use their skills in a different kind of way if they'd like to make a difference in people's lives. You know, traditionally in our community, if you want to make a difference in people's lives, the first thing I tell you, you ought to be a preacher. Well, preachers teach people how to live after they die. I wanted to teach people how to live right here, right now. Jesus says the kingdom of God is at hand, is right here, right now. You make your heaven and hell right here on earth. And so one of the things that I'm doing is my goal is to train 10,000 voices of hope. First I said 1,000, but no, I want to train 10,000 voices of hope outside of politics, which politicians say, vote for me and I'll give you your piece of the American pie. Outside of religion, who say, just do as I tell you to do and give me 10% of your gross income and I can teach you how you can live after you die. Oh, no. I want to teach people how they can teach people the techniques and strategies, how they can use their talent, their knowledge, and their skills and create wealth right now, how they can make a difference right here, right now, with their gifts, their talents, and with their passion.
Perfect. Well, you know what? Lord's will, Lord's way. Hopefully, I'll be one of those people.
Well, I would love to work with you and your wife. You know, this is the time we need some more young voices. You know, I'm in my 70th year on the planet. You're 26. So we got to create some new voices out here. So it's going to be my pleasure. I'm looking forward to working with you.
Fantastic, Les Brown. All right, well, this is Justin and Erica from You Are Creators, and we support your dreams.